Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. Things never go the way you want it to, and you just have to roll with the punches. Are we concerned about how much water is coming out of it?
Yeah, I could pull a kayak out, white water style.
Hey, I'm Lizzie.
And I'm PJ.
And we're Oak Development and Design.
Just hang 1,800 pounds in the air. Hope we don't break it. We tear down and rebuild houses. High fives for taking houses down.
From spec homes to custom renovations and design. Stop, you're bad at this.
We save what we can.
Rebuild what we can't.
Not exactly sure how we're gonna pay for it yet. It's not stressful. I'm not stressed.
Whoa!
We do it all here in New England, where we call home. We don't just flip houses.
We create homes. Heart of Oak is brought to you by
Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Cam Appliance. Make your next appliance a Cam Appliance. Mid-Cape Home Centers, serving building professionals for 125 years. Mountain One Bank, where banking is in our nature. My plan, which is a little crazy, is to tear the house down to the slab and then build a new foundation from the current foundation over to the barn, make it a cathedral kitchen.
So the guys were able to get the steel in on Friday, which was huge. Now it's in place, they can look at putting the joists up on top of it.
Nice.
Was also a little worried with the measurements because we had a few foundation level changes.
But it worked out.
Everything perfectly.
See, you do know what you're doing.
Sometimes.
Our biggest hurdle is the site work, right?
Yeah.
So this is where flipping a house or building a house in New England gets really tricky, right? Because we have to deal with the elements. You know, we're up against a winter coming, we're up against snow coming. So the challenge is, how do we get people in now to do all the hardscaping, all the planting, the sod, the rough binder coat of the driveway while they're trying to frame it?
So if ever I look a little stressed, it's because we're trying to get this guy in before that guy, but not after that guy finishes.
And don't this guy off while that guy's mad at you. And
you got to use a bit of politics along with some smart scheduling and luck with the weather. As you know, I mean, we can get snow as early as the end of November. And if we have a couple of snowstorms...
Which is a week away.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the reminder. So I better get to it. I got some phone calls I need to make.
So the cement floor was interesting because we've actually been working off of an existing foundation here, which was a raised concrete slab that was already 6 inches thick, reinforced with steel, and then steel beams underneath it. The reason it was like that is that this used to be an old potting shed back in the early 1900s, and they would park their tractors up here. We had to keep the foundation, but the problem was the garage had no pitch. You're technically supposed to have a certain amount of pitch from the back of the garage to the front, so if you drive in with snow or a really rainy car and it drips on the floor, the water goes out the door, right? And the best option we figured out was, why don't we just pour a new floor right over the floor that's here? Create pitch from the back forward. And so what we did was we built all the surrounding walls and just encapsulated the old floor and created a new one right on top of it. Now it's time to raise a wall.
1, 2, 3.
I've done much worse than that.
1, 2, 3.
All right, slow down a little bit. Go ahead up. One more. It's a very precise leveling job.
Laser.
Now, you guys are just temporarily getting it up, and then you'll level it when you start putting walls up, right? Basically, what they're doing is they're putting temporary braces up, getting it level to eyesight, and then as they start building walls, they'll double check the level of the whole thing. We now have a master bedroom right here. So tell me more about this. Everybody asks me about these things when I walk them through.
They help level the wall and keep the wall secure.
And so the reason they're called springboards is because they're bowed out like this. So what you do is you get it close, nail it top and bottom, and then you use this as almost a lever right?
Exactly, yeah.
To try to get the middle of the wall where you want it.
And you don't want this board to stay straight out. You do want the tension on it.
And so these are here until all the ceiling beams are in
Until the ceiling beams are in.
and everything is tied
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Right?
The flexibility of the springboards allow us to adjust the walls precisely.
So I had a productive couple days while you were gone, but I'm faced with the realities that we are definitely behind on Squirrel Hill. I know I was pushing really hard to get all the landscaping done, but I'm like losing sleep over it. I just think we're in for trouble. We're at least 2 to 4 weeks behind on our finish schedules.
I mean, I've been bouncing between the irrigation and the driveway, trying to get those two things to fall in with Tony and loam. And it really has been tricky to kind of get all that to balance out. So, I mean, as we felt this morning, the weather's getting cold, so we're knocking on the door of getting frozen ground and those asphalt plants closing.
I mean, the thing that I'm up against is like every month that we decide we're gonna push in the spring is like, that's at the end of the project when like I owe the most money to the bank. And that's all interest. Right?
Totally,
So it's like $6,000 a month. But we also have to be realistic in the fact that we live in New England and we can't do everything.
I think it's the right thing to do to push it off and just do it right. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, we get an early thaw and we're up and at 'em in March or April.
Meanwhile, over at the White Reno,
The lab truck's here. That means progress. What's up, dude? Good to see you.
our insulators tell us that there's an issue with ventilation in the roof, which could make insulating the roof much more expensive.
So because the rest of the house is vented and this is open, and because we have the ridge vent and the end vent, I don't think we need to spray the whole thing.
Okay.
You know, in a modern house, down here where we have the bricks, most times is vented, right? So there's a vent down in this soffit, and then air is able to travel up along the roof and out the ridge or out the sides of the gable. And what that does is it allows the house to breathe, right? And so in older antiques like this, we find stuff like this a lot where bricks are used to block off things, and who knows why it was done back in the day. But if there was no vents upstairs and that was blocked, then we would have no venting, which would make it really inefficient, and it would also not allow the house to breathe. But the roof is vented up top in several different ways, so it's getting plenty of air, and we're gonna accomplish what we need to with those vents. So instead of spraying the entire roof, which is really costly, we're just gonna spray up to the flat where we'll use conventional fiberglass or blow-in insulation to get the rating that we need. What this family did was they asked us to come in and redo their kitchen, but at the same time, their master bathroom was directly above it. We figured it was a great opportunity to gut this and redo it, give them more space in the bathroom, give them a more efficient layout, and also give them better closet space in their master. Right out of the gate, you come in and we added a double closet here for him. And then we moved this wall back a little, created a doorway into their new bathroom. We actually increased the square footage of this whole suite probably about 100 feet, which is a lot in a small space. And we framed out a stand-up custom shower here, which will have a niche and glass top and a glass door here. We got a big 72-inch vanity in, double bowl vanity. And then we created a walk-in closet on this side for her. She'll have shoe racks, she'll have hanging racks, she'll have everything she needs in this one space, all really close to the bathroom itself.
A few days later, the insulation is going way faster than we expected.
Well, I was gonna put a GoPro up to get some time lapse for you guys to see, but they're almost done. And it's 10:20, so let's go check it out. That was unbelievably fast. So quick. Man, nothing for us to do. Oh, look at this.
How's it going?
I get the man of the house.
Yeah.
You're about to be on camera.
Oh, jeez.
How are you?
Great.
They're done.
Oh my God, these guys are amazing.
This is unreal.
Yeah, we went out to breakfast when they were setting up, and they came back and just nailed it upstairs, downstairs.
I came in and put a GoPro downstairs to do a time lapse, and it's done.
That's awesome.
In this business, you should never get overconfident because there's always an issue lurking around the corner.
It was one of those things we just overlooked. Now we are scrambling. So clearly we have Oakley today, who's gonna be silly. Are we concerned about how much water is coming out of it?
Yeah, I could pull a kayak out, white water style.
We ran into all sorts of problems this morning. Jared called me and realized that we had to put a bunch of 1/4-inch plywood down at the white renovation because the flooring, the subflooring was going the wrong direction for the flooring guys. And the flooring guys, of course, were coming this morning, and it was one of those things we just overlooked. Now we are scrambling to put plywood down on the floor so that they can get the floors in today, so that the doors can go in tomorrow, so the kitchen can go in on Monday. And we got a bunch of plywood down by 8:30 in the morning, and we were rolling through, and then my ring shank gun broke, of course, because it always happens at the worst time. So now we're headed over to see Frankie, grab a gun from him. Frankie to the rescue.
What did that plywood ever do to you?
Gets my anger out. I don't get to do this that much anymore, so.
You've got a lot of anger, man. You should maybe talk to someone about that.
We're at the Friendship Home in Norwell, Mass today. The Friendship Home is a nonprofit, fully self-funded by donation. And what they do is it's a respite house for people with disabilities. And then it's also, it's also a place where they help people learn how to go into the workforce and help people find jobs and get out and work. So clearly we have Oakley today, who's gonna be silly. And what we're doing is we're donating our time. Everybody around us is donating materials and time to help renovate their lobby. Now the tricky part is that they have a 20th anniversary in a month.
Oh, wow.
So we've got 30 days to rip this lobby apart, fix it, paint it, and get it ready for the party.
Hi, guys.
Hi, here we are. We have a special guest today.
And who is this?
This is Oakley.
Hi, Oakley.
Can you say hi?
I'm a little shy.
It's so important that this project is complete, so when people do enter the building, they feel welcomed, they feel loved, and they feel a sense of belonging here at Friendship Home.
So the plan is basically a refresh of the lobby. The main focus is taking the walls down, opening the room up, so when people come in, instead of hitting that wall when they first walk in, we want people to walk in and feel invited and excited to be here. And then we're gonna be creating a new, much more inviting desk. They're actually hiring a receptionist, which is a big step. Demo starts Friday.
It looks like a fairly straightforward process.
And then at that point, we'll bring Frankie in, our carpenter, and Lizzie, you can chime in here, but I was thinking we would just use wall cabinets behind for simple storage, and then create the desk with desk cabinets here.
You're gonna probably want these knee walls to be higher. So
Right.
that the kind that they're working at, along with the computers are all going to be kind of below eye level.
Okay.
So they can actually see through.
Great.
And were we thinking like some sort of quartz?
We were.
Okay, and then do we want to match that on top of the knee wall, or do we want this to be more of a trimmed out wood top?
I feel like with wood, like if someone puts a drink down or something like that, like you just don't have to even worry about that. You don't want to worry about
Right.
maintaining a wood counter.
That's right.
There is a lot of colonial here, so depending on what's in the lobby, we may want to match it. Do you have any questions for us?
No, just get started.
So we're at a funky stage in this project right now. We're up against winter coming. We've had a ton of rain, so the place is a mud pit. There's tons of water in the backyard. The whole backyard kind of sunk on us after we filled it in. This is a lot of water that's coming out of the backyard. Are we concerned about how much water is coming out of it?
Yeah, I could pull a kayak out and start flowing down white water style.
I mean, before this lot kind of naturally draped off, so all the water was going this way anyway.
Yeah. Before we put the berm in, we didn't really have any of this pooling. I feel like this whole area sunk down quite
a bit.
substantially in the last couple of weeks. This does kind of highlight how bad it's going to be in serious rainfall with some snow melt here.
Part of me is wondering if we should put a dry well up in here. So I think what we should do is let's do the stone with some sort of perf pipe in this corner over here.
Yep.
Connect it to this perf pipe that we're putting in here. Have it all flow down to a dry well down in there.
Yep.
I think the berm is too steep, which we talked about with Tony earlier, knocking that down, maybe using some of that fill to fill in this hole here.
Yeah, give us more of a natural pitch.
This is like my least favorite time of a job because we're behind schedule because of weather. framing is taking longer than expected, not because the guys aren't working hard, it's just they're dealing with weather, they're dealing with more of a complex situation than we thought, so things never go the way you want it to, and you just have to roll with the punches. Jared's inside. We're gonna take a walk through, kind of see what's going on, see if they need me to do anything on the back end, but he's got it pretty much under control, so we're gonna check in with him and see what the status is. I'm starting to move faster with these.
Hey, what's happening?
So we're moving along. What's the status on everything?
So yeah, we've got the guys that are finishing sheeting up the roof. Really happy with the way that all worked out.
So we got the concrete floor done yesterday. I wasn't expecting that.
Not even set for 24 hours, and the heat guys are down there setting the furnace.
Awesome. Well, let's go down and check on those guys.
Yeah.
And... Dude, pouring the floor, totally the way to go.
Yeah, it's really tidied this place up. I mean, it was a bit of a horror show down here before, but
Totally. But Frankie and the guys worked with Jared to figure out a plan, and it totally works. It's a very thin 3-inch layer of concrete to give it a fresh, level look. We lose 3 inches, but you know what? There's hardly any head height down here. It's really a storage area. You would never finish it.
So you've really got to stick your head between the rafter bays here to... Oh,
There you go.
see,
barely makes
one of
it.
the benefits of being short, you can move around here easily.
This is the one time that I can't make fun of him for being short. Dude, you guys are cranking right along, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Unit's been set, ductwork's all tied in. They've already got it all the way up to the second floor.
Wow. The main house is like in pretty good shape. You know, our goal is always be on budget and either on time or ahead of time, and I think right now we're doing both.
Dave from Cam Appliance is coming to help us plan the kitchen.
So here we are, a blend of old and new. So instant character. Yeah, totally. So this thing was, the main house I think was built in like the late 1800s. So the whole center of the floor, both second and first floor, had buckled, and the whole house framing-wise was compromised. Kind of a problem, especially if you're gonna put a big heavy island in the middle over there. Yeah. Basically, this whole thing was chopped up, right? So we had this tiny little galley kitchen in here with a wall. So the guys put all these beams in, opened the whole thing up, gave it a lot more breadth. Here, what we're thinking is we're probably gonna go with the GE Cafe.
They have multiple levels with the same aesthetics. So if you really want to get the best refrigerator, you can select that. But then you can scale down on the cooking product, you know, to save some money.
For me, what's important is that when they walk into that kitchen, they have that wow factor. So this is the layout that we're talking about now with the stove.
Still pretty tight.
It is really tight. Problem is, I don't think I have a choice on the microwave. I just don't know if I have the room for it.
They make a space saver, so it's 12 inches deep and 24 inches wide.
So you agree, island this way, not this way?
I'm in agreement.
Okay, and I like your idea of the space saver microwave over there if I can fit it.
Sure.
This is a type of project where we're limited. It's like, it is what it is.
Right.
So how do we maximize every square inch and get the most out of it? He hit groundwater.
Take that shovel and hold it. It's gotta be a tree.
Yeah, hey, did you chat with Ernie at all about the pump he needs for tomorrow? He hit groundwater.
Yep.
So we gotta rent some sort of big, he called it a trash pump.
Okay.
So I'm on my way over. I'm on my way over there now. I'm gonna figure out what the heck we need. Apparently he needs a pump running the whole time he's digging.
I mean, I told him that when he started. I said, Danny, there's a really high water table.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise at all. I'll just take care of it. You stay doing what you're doing.
I'm gonna do what I do. I'm here if you need me, though. Let me know.
Okay, all right, I'll let you know. Bye.
Cool, bye.
The antique Reno sits in an area of town that's really unpredictable with water. When we did the test holes here a couple months ago, the water table was high, but since then, it rained a ton this fall. Long story short, because of this water issue, we actually have to bring in a big pump so that we can pump the water out of the hole he's working in and putting the septic in until the tank is in and it's set. Let's go take a look at the water. All right, so what's happening with the water?
Oh, God. The water table's up high because all the rain.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get a pump, and we're gonna have to pump all the water out.
Will it just continue to pour in while
Keep
you're...
pouring in, but it'll get the best of it.
What is a trash pump?
The trash pump is a pump that'll pump anything. You drop it down the hole, and if some crap gets in there, it'll pump it and run it right out.
Okay, so it's like a big sump pump.
Yeah, it's gotta be a tree. I haven't had to deal with this much water in a long time.
It turns out that one pump isn't enough, so Ernie and Jarrett install a second one.
Take that shovel and hold it.
Ernie, you built a
Yes,
little
I
bridge
did.
for me. Thanks for this.
You needed a bridge.
I definitely needed an island.
Paradise Island.
If this is your idea of paradise, we've got a lot to look up to. They go deep enough for us or no?
I don't think so. Plugged in. We're ready to go. Going down. Now it's hurry up and wait. We gotta take 1.5 feet more out.
You can see that we've gone down 1 foot from where it was.
Now we got about 2 more feet to go. Still gotta drop the second pump down lower.
I just need you to dig it out.
You're not gonna shovel it?
No, I'm not going to shovel it in. Not with the machine sitting right here.
Well, touches are hot.
I'm wrapping this to help filter out some of the silt.
Should we wrap it the other direction so it goes all the way around?
Well, it's supposed to go around. Somebody cut it too short.
We need another piece.
Well, there's no, I mean, I've got a foot here with no holes in it, so let's
Oh,
put it
okay. All right, if you can do
back
that,
the way
fine.
it was. I mean, it's not rocket science here. Yes, I messed it up.
Bring it
but,
up higher.
Not waste any more time. It's gonna go right next to this one, just a little deeper.
You having fun yet?
Maximum fun today.
Give it another scoop.
Hey, wouldn't go there. Yep, you got it.
3 down to, yeah.
We won. Quiet for sound. You got it.
Beautiful. There go the socks.
All that groundwater. Oh, God.
Next week on Heart of Oak.
This entire time, we're like, oh yeah, we're fine, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it. It was like down to the wire. I didn't want to admit that. Guys crushed it.
Yes, crushed it.